Hey everybody, this is Jack with SGTV. I know I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I believe a couple of weeks ago was the last time that I put out a video on the channel. I sort of mentioned in that, life happens sometimes and I've had some stuff going on. I have gotten to the point where I can start contributing to the channel again, which is exciting. Um, anyhow, if we'll go ahead and start out like this. If you don't know if you don't know who we are at Spy by Gaming, we are uh, we're a channel that puts out content that highlights video games, industry news, and events in the gaming community. That sounds interesting, or sounds like something you're looking for. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Anyhow, so today's video is going to be I've made one of these before. It's going to be a gold material farming type video, mainly directed at newer players that possibly haven't figured this out yet, and players that have been playing and might have possibly not figured it out yet. It was a little bit into the game, or into my tenure playing the game before I personally figured it out, so I know it's a thing. I know it can happen. These are, I'll go ahead and say up front, these are primarily quality of life in-game live videos, because they're not, it's not necessary, but you might want some gold, and I'm gonna show you how to make some gold. So this is the last time we were in Betnik, I believe. This one and that particular video was a little bit of, it was a mishmash of material farming. This particular one is going to focus directly on, or specifically on, alchemy materials, because they're a real good source of gold. So, as you can see behind me here, I've got the Hollow City in Coldharbour, and it's a real good place to do this. It's a real simple farming route that you can run, or that I run it. Other players may run it a different way. I'm going to show you the way that I run it. It makes the most sense that I've found thus far. Anyhow, I may stumble over some words because I'm going to be honest with you. I recorded this once, and for some reason, it's strictly like the video was just my sound recorder window. So I'm hoping that's not what's going on right now. Technical problems, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, yes, you can see the map pins and all that stuff. There are things that you can do that will make this, quite a bit easier on you as a player. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and show you. So I start out here and I run, this and then this, or usually this and then this. I come in and I just go around the city, right? And come back out. And I run this and then this, and I go back in and do it all over again. Now, there's a reason for that, which I will get to. I'm going to run this circuit once just so you can see it, and I will cover everything, like from add-ons to CP to gears and gear sets and alternate gear sets. So anyway, like I said, I start over here, go around this side. I hit every node, even when I'm strictly harvesting alchemy stuff. If you see the alchemical resin and the foul bait there, most nodes, there we go, mundane rune, that's why. Most nodes have some secondary material that you can harvest and get from them. Now you can kill, I'll say this, there's no ancestor silk, there's none of that here. There are 2 bull netches outside of the city, or there are 2 netches outside of the city. One's a bull netch, one is a Betty netch. You can kill them every now and then. They drop hide scraps if you want. It's not, that's up to you. So, and I also grab, is that a thieves trove? Yep, we're gonna get it. Let's do it. Be sneaky, terrible thieves. All right. Anyway, I grab every node because sometimes when it's not guaranteed that it's gonna, the way in which, I'm stumbling over words here. I had this recorded once and now I have to do it again. The way in which the nodes repopulate, they don't necessarily come back as the same resource that they were before. So the platinum seam you just saw me harvest may not be a platinum seam when it repopulates. Just like this wormwood here may not be wormwood when it comes back. So, yep, there's going to be a lot less because I've already run it, and there's probably people here running it now. Anyway, but this is essentially it. It's, you get a nice little circle that you can run, and you don't have to run it. You can run this. I'll tell you what I do. I run this circuit maybe 2 or 3 times a week. If I have the time, 3 times a week. If not, I don't. No more than 30 minutes, right? You run it 30 minutes a couple of times a week, so you maybe spend an hour gathering a week. You're gonna make all the gold you need, and it's it just gives you a nice buffer. It's nice to have if you want to, if you've gone the route of, all right, so like my character can do these things in crafting, but not all of them. So like I'm not an enchanter. The gold is nice to have if you want to re-enchant your gear with something else, or if you're going with a different build completely. This particular character that I'm doing this on is the Sork tank that I had made a build guide for, and that it was the only way that you saw this character was as a tank for a really long time, or since the beginning of the channel, I should say. So with the advent, and I'm going to say this too, I highly suggest and recommend, I highly recommend that everyone have at least one armory slot, because the armory is good for this, right? I have enough skill points. I can put all the crafting. I can put points into every crafting ability, passive, all that good stuff. I can put points into all of it. So now I have a crafting build. And one that is good for harvesting. Now I'm going to stop right here because find myself talk about this on a regular basis, and it's not real important, but look, broken step. Okay, so jump it, keep going. As long as you remember that's there, don't stop moving. Just get it, move on. Jump, go. And there is one going in the other direction too, so you can't think you're going to be cute and run the city in the opposite direction. You can't do that. It's just as effective. But there's a broken step going the other way as well. So, sometimes things are stable and put together right. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes you get a step that's it's got a little different angle on it, and your character just doesn't know how to step over it. So, all right. we have made one full lap around the city. Now we're back outside. See, so now these nodes are ready to go again. So grab them. And once... Look, they're populating in while I'm out here. So once you grab all the nodes outside the city, the ones inside the city will have enough repopulated that you can just run through it. It's not going to be every node every time. Might kill one of... See, there's other people here. This is a fairly well-known, or fairly heavily used route for doing this. Not all of them come back. Like this one here, it didn't snap back. Now that, either somebody grabbed it or they didn't. It could have just not come back. I'll see if I can kill this. I can't kill it. I'll see if I can get it to drop it. Alright, there you go. Rubido high scraps. So, you have that option if you want to take the minute. You don't have to. It's not a necessary thing. Slows you down, honestly, more than anything. In my opinion. But, it's about what you want to do. You play these games how you want to play them. So, now, all of that being shown and said, let's get into what you need to do to be competitive. Okay, that's wrong. Let's fix this. Settings, gameplay. I was having some problems. I got a new gamepad, not controller, and was having some issues. So, all right, okay, all right. Now, when you do something like this, and this is a thing that's accessible to players of all levels. If you don't have, a way shrine way to get here or something like that, get in a guild. There's likely somebody logged. There's likely somebody in Coldharbour. The Hollow City is in Coldharbour, if you don't know. So, the gear that I have chosen to wear, and there's a couple of them, and I'll go over them, but the gear that I've chosen to wear is Jailbreaker and Coward's Gear set. Now, when I first started this, I did a lot of sprinting. Okay, so I got 3 bonuses here. I get max stamina out of the 2-piece, 3-piece, 109 stamina recovery, 4-piece, 109 stamina recovery, 5-piece, 120 stamina recovery, and I gain minor expedition at all times, increasing movement speed by 15%. That's important. Divines. I feel like that's important for this build. I'll get to the why here in a minute when I talk about the Mundus Stone. So, we've got minor expedition on the Jailbreaker set. On the Coward's Gear set, we have 2 123 stam recoveries, 1 238 stamina recovery, and like I mentioned, when I first started doing this, I did a lot of sprinting. So, the 5-piece that gives you the stamina recovery, and then also while sprinting, you gain major expedition and major protection if you're which is good if you're you're farming in Craglorn or something like that. I was doing that yesterday morning, trying to farm some potent Urncrux. It is a good, it's you got some RNG going on, but it is a real good way to make some gold if you get a decent, I had 3 of them. They all sell for over 20,000 a piece. So I didn't spend a lot of time doing it, but 60,000 for 30 minutes of farming. Plus I got, materials that I could refine to get gold materials or gold like tempering materials out of. Anyway, major expedition is the important thing here, which increases movement speed by 30%. So now we've stacked major and minor expedition for 45% movement speed. when you do things like this, so see, I don't have the trait right on this one. It's just kind of a, it's a work in progress. It's one of those things that just is what it is. Jewelry. You can have your jewelry swift. That will increase your movement speed. This is an increase of 5%. It goes up. It's a blue, it's blue quality right now. So it's not the highest it'll get. This one, like I said, work in progress. It's only robust, but I could get another 5% here. This is why I don't sprint quite as much. So the Ring of the Wild Hunt, I feel like it's probably one of the most important things you could do for a build like this. This one piece increases your movement speed by 15% while in combat, which is all, that's all well and good, but we're not in combat here, right? Increases your movement speed by 45% while out of combat. That's a lot. The closer you can get to movement speed cap, which is 200%, the better off you are. And like I had mentioned, the better the quality, the higher, the bonus. I'm going to go ahead and say most people likely know that. This ring here gives me another, so I get 52% movement speed for this one piece. So if you don't have it, I highly suggest you go out and get it. If you can, you acquire it through the antiquity system. So anyway, that's the gear. The reason I think divines, the steed. Okay, I run the steed on this. You get another movement speed bonus. Right now it's 14%. If I had divines on everything, it would be a little bit higher. And you can see there's some kind of leftover remnants here, right? And it was, I think, in the other window as well. But so my max stam is 22.6, which is, that's fine. But stamina recovery is 31.89. That's so when you stop and get the flower or whatever it is you're harvesting, you get a big chunk of stamina back because your recovery is going to tick, and you just turn yourself into a rocket, basically. So that is your gear. Okay. The next part of this that is important is in the CP tree, specifically the fitness tree and the crafting tree. Crafting, I feel like it's self-explanatory, but okay. We're going to start over here with the fitness tree. The ones that I think are probably most important to this build, because realistically, you could just not slot any of this stuff. You don't have to. You really don't. It's not important, especially if not this. If this is the particular thing that you're going to do, you don't even need to put them in anywhere else. But I did, just so I'd have it filled out. I got tumbling because I farm in places where there's enemies, so I got all this other stuff. Anyway, sprinter. Reduce the speed of sprint by 20 stamina per stage. So you can get a 40 cost reduction in sprint. 40 stamina cost reduction in towards sprint by putting in these 20 points. It's not a slottable, so you just get it. Next, in the Wind Chaser subtree, these two are important. Hasty, for 16 points, you get 2% increased movement speed when sprinting per stage. So you get a 4% movement speed bonus when sprinting. Not a slottable, so you don't have to take up a slottable space. And then down here you have Celerity. Increase your movement speed by 2% per stage. 10% movement speed bonus is what's fully possible. Get this, slot it, get that. Come back out here and get this, and then whatever else you want. Like I said, I farm in areas where there are enemies frequently enough where, Boundless Vitality, Fortified, and Siphoning spells is important to me. So in the crafting tree, these are the things you're going to want to make life easier, and get the most bang for your buck, so to say, right? So, we start with Steed's Blessing. is a 20% movement speed bonus while out of combat. Again, doing this exact thing, not in combat, so you get the full bonus. Let's see here. Alright, and then you want to work your way up to Master Gatherer. Like, you don't have to slot all these, you just slot one stage of each of these and get up here, and then unfortunately you do have to spend 50 on meticulous disassembly, but these two are where it's going to make doing this worth your while. So Master Gatherer reduces the time it takes to harvest by 10% per stage. There's 5 stages, so 50% time reduction when harvesting. And what that's going to look like is, if you're just starting out, like, you're going to swing your axe or your pickaxe or whatever it is, you're going to take a minute. Like, whenever you go to hit the node, whenever I go to get a node, like, I squat down or swing the axe once or whatever it is that I'm doing, and it takes like a second. Needs to be slotted. Okay, Master Gatherer right here. And then you have Plentiful Harvest. So you have a 10% chance to gain double the yield from normal resource nodes per stage. There's 5 stages, 50% chance. So, what that looks like is, where you get your benefit in that is, instead of one, like, let's say it's alchemy, instead of one alchemy material, you'll get 2 or 3. Instead of 3 or 4 out of, like, woodworking or blacksmithing or clothing, stuff like that, jewelry, instead of getting like 3 or 4, you might get 6 or 8. It's worth it. But these 2 trees, craft and fitness, are your important ones for this. So I want to say that I covered everything. I'll show you real quick why this is important. Okay, so that was fast. That's considerably faster than without it. Oh yeah. Alright. The other thing to, just quality of life while doing this is add-ons. Now, I've got a ton of add-ons here, I know. You don't have to, you can have all these and not have them all turned on, but the ones you're going to want are like your harvest map pins, things like that. And what that does, and you're also going with this Tamriel Trade Center. And yes, there are, before you go thinking, look, this is not the only one. No, it's not. It's the one that I use. I like it. I installed it. I use it. It serves my purpose. They probably all do about the same thing. That's it is what it is. That's fine. You use what you prefer. So the map pins and everything, it makes it easy because you're like, all right, look, node here, node there, node there. You just run from node to node and it's pre-marked for you. Now this character has every point. This character has every point and all the crafting stuff possible. So keen eye, for reagents, I can see things up to 40 meters. So yeah, I can see it without them. Just makes it easier, right? It's a quality of life thing again. So those are the add-ons that I recommend. The harvest maps, the map pins. Make sure you get all the prerequisites for those add-ons. I usually find it easier to use an add-on manager. Like, I use Minion personally. It keeps them updated and things like that, because you can set, I don't know if you guys noticed whenever I had it pulled up or not, a lot of these are out of date, and it's, we just had an update so on the game itself, so they're not completely up to date yet. They still work. They don't break your game. Anyhow, so like I said, this is a quality of life thing. If you didn't know before, now you do now. This is not one of those where I say, hey, this is what I do, or this is a good idea, and then don't actually do it. I do this exact thing 2 to 3 times a week, and I've got, I have $1.5 million gold sitting in the bank, because like, hey, why not? I got a couple other characters I've been working on, and some of their PvE and PvP, and yeah, I said PvP, so yes, we're going to start having some PvP stuff on the channel at some point, which I'm hoping is going to be real fun and not real toxic, but, either way, we're going to have some PvP stuff. But anyway, without getting too far off topic, like, there's some overland sets that I plan on using, and you buy overland sets on the Guild Trader, and you know what, I don't want to nuke my transmute, so I'm probably gonna just amass enough gold where I can buy, like, maybe not the right quality, but buy the right trait, right? Which is often a little more expensive, because most players know, hey, PvP, impenetrable, like, people are gonna pay a little more for this, because because that's the trait you want, right? PvE content, divines are often the same way, depending, if it's DPS gear, if it's tank gear, it's a little different, sturdy, things like that. So, just having a couple of these things that you can go do a couple of times a week is all it takes. Seriously, 30 minutes at a time. I usually never harvest more than 30 minutes at a time. I do it 2 times a week, 3 if I have a little more time on my hands. I referenced the amount of gold sitting in my bank, which I think is actually over $1.5 million now. Because I ran Craglorn and harvested some Nerncrux, and that stuff sells for an ungodly amount, which is something else. Glad I said that, because that reminds me, I'm going to show why this is, if you don't know, I'm going to show you why this is such a good way of making a decent income. So let's go into here. Here's why we hit every doe too, by the way. All right, enchanting, yeah, this stuff is not so great, but right here, okay. Mundane rune, it's a furnishing material. 5, sell 5 of them for nearly 1,500 a piece. You can sell it on the high end, you can sell it on the low end. You figure out what works for you. It depends on how long you want it to set on sale, right? It depends on how long you want the gear or the Guild Trader to hold on to it. Provisioning, honestly, is the same way. You get decorative wax. Now, this comes from, slightly different places than nodes, but, and then we have what we were just harvesting, right? So, mountain flower, it's between 130 and 160 right now, basically. Columbine, between 600 and 750. Let's see here, lady smock, 400 to 500. Cornflower, 750 to 930. And you sell these things in stacks of 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. I'm not saying that's a set number. I'm just saying, that's usually what I do. If you want to go real hard and make like top, bang for your buck, it's probably not efficient, I would guess. But like you can farm dragons and get things like this. This isn't the only one. Dragon's Bile is not the only one you get from them. The other one sells for considerably more. It's not coming to mind exactly what the name of it is. I had some that I sold not too long ago, but it's in the realm of this. Okay, powdered mother of pearl, 4,163 to 5,203 per one. Okay, that's a good amount of gold, especially if you're not making it other ways. And this is something anyone can do. You may not be able to do it as efficiently as if you're just getting started. You may not be able to do it as efficiently as, say, like myself. I have all the CPs, I've got the gear, I got the Ring of the Wild Hunt, stuff like that. but you can do it. And depending on where you do it at, you will come across, different materials like violet Caprinus here, 570 to 700. It's not, you don't come across a lot of this, so people pay for it. You don't come across this very often, people pay for it. Yes, I don't have any of the traits, but it's, I probably sell them all. I doubt that I use them. And they range, like Dragonthorn 76 to 95. Bugloss is 186 to 232. Nightshade 180 to 220. Nernroot 87 to 109. Things like that. And that's excuse me. That TTC suggested price is just a suggested price. Like this here says the average is 386. I believe that. I personally stick in the suggested range, and I have learned what I can put at the higher end and what will still go fast, even with it being at the higher end of the suggested price, sale price. And you'll find that things that go into essence of spell power, essence of weapon power, or essence of spell crit, things like that, that people like run these potions on cooldown. They tend to sell for a little bit more. Columbine goes into it because you get the Restore Magicka trait. Lady Smock, which increases spell power. Cornflower increases spell power. Things like that. So when you think about it, I mean, it's a good investment of time, even if you just do it once a week. Once a week, if you're not spending a lot of gold, is way more than, it's more than enough for what you need. So that is basically the spill that I've got. I hope to be around and contributing more to the channel. I know Spy has started to incorporate some other games. He's been playing Halo here recently, kind of playing through. I think the plan is to play through the storyline. We just had the new Halo game come out, so it's not all ESO content, but I'll sit here and gladly pump some ESO content, and Spy can do the other content on the game, on games that we we enjoy and want to share that with y'all. So anyhow, I feel like I'm rambling, so if you've made it this far, I want to say I greatly appreciate it. I know that you didn't have to take the time out of your day to do that, but you did if you have made it this far, and I hope, number one, I'm greatly thankful for that, and number two, I hope that I was able to provide some value in exchange for your time. If so, if you'd like to see more content like this, or if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It does, I'll be transparent, it does help, the channel grow, which is a good thing, because what we're here for is we want to bring this information to as many players as possible. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Everybody, one more thing before I hop off here. Happy New Year from Spy Pie Gaming. We're in welcome to 2022, and I hope that everyone has a good year and you get the things done on your resolution list. We all do that every year. Hope you get the things done on your resolution list that you want to get done, and we hope to continue to bring our audience valuable information, continue to grow the community and the audience, and to continue to be able to, interface with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. We've been at this several months now, and we hope to continue the growth. So thanks everybody for watching, and have a good one.